Fast. This little story is a true story, like almost all my stories. The title, The Preacher in the Whorehouse. Ooh, I meant cat house. Back when I was young, I drove truck for a living. Now, this ain't these new fancy automatic trucks. It took a man to drive these trucks. Well, I would drive all through the South and the North, and I would see things that most people wouldn't see. One thing, in the South, in the early 90s, there were cat houses everywhere. And every trucker knew where they were. Was it wrong? Well, back in that day, it was illegal. But you had politicians and cops. They let them be there. If they didn't allow it, it wouldn't have happened. There would be ladies making money to raise their families, working in a cat house. The only place it's legal now is in Nevada. But is it right? Would you want your mama or your daughter working in a cat house? I don't believe so. And I'm not saying anything to make lesser of the people that did it, because they had to make a living, and maybe times were tough for them, and maybe they were hooked on drugs or whatever. I have no idea. But a lot of people blame the preachers for the end of the cat houses. For if they did not step in, they'd still be here today, because the politicians loved them. I mean, pedophiles and politicians, it kind of goes together. Oh, I stopped in at this one place. It was called the Truckers Motel. I'd been on the road for 3 weeks, and I was tired. So I called in and I says, "Can I get a room?" And the little old girl behind the desk says, "Do you want it for an hour? 2 hours?" I said, "Hell no, I want to go to sleep." He says, "I ain't never heard that one before." So I went in the place where you get breakfast. It's a little bar, but they serve breakfast. And I walked in and I ordered me some breakfast. And there was these girls in lingerie and stuff walking all around. And at that time, I had a wife at home. And they look good now, don't get me wrong. But I didn't want to bring something home to her and end my marriage. So I got in my truck and I left. Well, a couple of years later, a new preacher come into town. And the women were in the church started complaining. So he shut it down. They had picket signs and all that in front of it. And for years, the politicians and the police, I mean, they went in there and got some service, I imagine, because they never had one bust until the preacher got in there. So whether you're a fan of the cat houses or not, that's how it ended. It didn't, not the law, not the politicians, not the cops, not the sheriff. They all use these little girls. And I don't know what happened to them after that. Hopefully, they went to college and got a job. But that's my little story about the cat houses of South Carolina. Y'all have a great day.